Welcome. Welcome back to the show. As we embark on our journey through life, we are presented with endless arrays of challenges and opportunities. From the very beginning, we are a blank slate, learning everything from basic communications to the intricacies of human interactions. But one lesson looms larger than the rest: the harsh reality of morality. This is a question that has plunged humanity for centuries and continues to be one of the most important and intriguing issues we face. Join us as we explore the philosophical musings of some of history's greatest minds, diving into the complex and ever-evolving concept of morality. From ancient philosophers like Plato and Aristotle to modern thinkers like Nietzsche and Heidegger. Sorry if I say these names. We'll leave no stone unturned as we discover the truth about good and evil, right and wrong. This is a journey you won't want to miss. It's a question we all have to think about at some point. How do you know when something is good and when it's bad? Where does the moral line break? And is there a gray area? So what are you waiting for? Get your headphones on, sit back in your favorite chair, and prepare yourself for a deep dive into some of the biggest questions around morality. When you think of morality, what comes to mind? Some may picture a set of absolute rules and principles that dedicate right and wrong behavior. Others may envision a more fluid and subjective concept, shaped by cultural and personal values. Still, others may see morality as a product of evolution and biology, rooted in our innate drive for survival and reproduction. Whatever one's perspective may be, morality remains a complex topic and continues to fascinate us and inspire us. It's a subject that touches on everything from personal relationships to our political systems, and it has the power to shape the way we live our lives. To explain this further, one approach is to rely on absolute, objective moral principles or rules. This perspective holds that certain actions, such as murder or theft, are always morally wrong, regardless of the circumstances. This approach, often associated with religion or spiritual beliefs, and is often based on the idea that there is a universal moral code that is independent of human opinion. Another approach is to view morality as a more fluid and subjective concept that is shaped by culture and personal values. This perspective holds that what is considered good or bad, right or wrong, can vary depending on the context and the people involved. This approach often emphasizes the importance of empathy and understanding different perspectives. A third approach is to view morality as a product of evolution and biology. This perspective holds that moral behavior is rooted in our innate drive for survival and reproduction, and that certain actions are morally right and wrong based on their consequences for the survival of the species. While some argue that morality is a product of evolution and biology, others, like Plato, take a more philosophical approach. Let's explore Plato's perspective on morality. Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher, had a number of ideas about morality. He believed that moral virtues such as wisdom, courage, and justice were essential for living a good life. He also believed that these virtues were innate qualities that were present in the soul and that individuals could tap into these innate qualities throughout education and and self-improvement. Plato's most famous work, The Republic, is also one of the most famous works on morality. In this text, he lays out this theory of the forms, which states that there are eternal, unchanging forms or ideas that exist in a realm separate from the physical world. He believed that these forms, including the forms of the good, were the ultimate source of morality, and that knowledge of the forms was necessary for living a morally good life. Plato also believed that people are fundamentally good, but may be led to act immorally due to ignorance. He believed that the state should ensure that citizens are educated in the virtues and knowledge of the forms, so that they will be able to act in accordance with what is truly good and just. In summary, Plato believed that morality is based on innate virtues In summary, Plato believed that morality is based on innate virtues that exist in the soul, and that knowledge of the external forms of virtues is necessary for living a moral good life. Continuing on the discussion of ancient Greek philosopher views on morality, we come to Aristotle. Aristotle, another Greek philosopher. He had a different perspective on morality than Plato. He believed that morality is not based on innate virtues, but rather is learned through habit and experiences. He believed that people can learn to act morally by habituating themselves to act in certain ways, and that virtues is a means between excess and deficiency. Between excuses and deficiencies. Aristotle's most famous work on morality is the Nicomachean Ethics. I apologize if I said that wrong. In which he proposed that there are two types of virtues, intellectual and moral virtues. Intellectual virtues are those such as wisdom and understanding, which are acquired through education and can be taught. On the other hand, moral virtues are those such as courage, justice, and generosity, which are acquired through habituation and are developed by repeatedly performing the right actions. Aristotle believed that that happiness is the ultimate goal of human life, and that moral virtues are necessary for achieving happiness. He thought that by living a virtuous life, people could achieve a state of eudaimonia, Eudaimonia. Oh my goodness, I don't know how to say that word. I spelled it out. That's a hard word, which is often translated as flourishing or happiness. Yeah, so the word I was trying to say is basically related to that. Apologize, that was a difficult word. Next on our list of philosophers is one who always has a controversial view. Friedrich Nietzsche, the German philosopher, had a unique and often controversial perspective. Did I do that right? All right, we're going to restart. 3, 2, 1. Next on our list of philosophers is one who always has a controversial view. Friedrich Nietzsche, the German philosopher who had a unique and often controversial perspective on morality. He rejects traditional morality and the idea of object morality values, and instead proposed that morality is a human invention, created by individuals and societies to serve their own needs and interests. Nietzsche believed that traditional morality, particularly Christian Christian morality was a form of oppression and that kept individuals from realizing their full potential. He thought that traditional morality, with its emphasis on self-denial and that rejection of one's own desires, stifled creativity and individuality. Nietzsche also proposed the idea of will to power, which he believed was the fundamental drive of human existence. He thought that individuals should embrace their own power and desires rather than representing them, and that this would lead to a more authentic and fulfilling life. Nietzsche also introduced the concept of Übermensch, or Superman, which he saw as the ultimate goal of human evolution. He believed that the Übermensch, or Superman, would be an individual who had overcome the He believed that the Übermensch, or Superman, would be an individual who had overcome the constraints of traditional morality and had become a fully self-actualized and powerful being. That was rough. In summary, Nietzsche's perspective on morality is that it is a human invention created by individuals and societies to serve their own needs and interests. He rejected traditional morality and the idea of object moral values, and instead proposed that individuals should embrace their own power and desires and strive to become the Übermensch, or Superman, a fully self-actualized and powerful being. Shifting gears, let's dive into the unique viewpoint of Heidegger, Heidegger. The German philosopher had a unique perspective on morality. He believed that traditional concepts of morality, such as those based on reasons or religion commandments, were superficial and failed to address the fundamental question of human experience. He argued that true morality should be rooted in deep understanding of one's own being, and that the being of others. He had believed that individuals should strive to live authentically and in alignment with their true selves, and in consideration of the impact of their actions on others. He also believed that the authentic morality should be rooted in a sense of responsibility and care for the world and for the future of generations to come. As we wrap up this episode, we have explored the philosophical musings of some of history's greatest minds on the complex and ever-evolving concept of morality. From ancient philosophers like Plato and Aristotle to modern thinkers like Nietzsche and Heidegger, we've dived into how do you know when something is good or wrong, or bad. Whoa, I butchered that whole thing. Let's retry. We've dived into how do you know when something is good and when it's bad? Where does the moral line break? Is there a gray area? We've seen different perspectives, from Plato's beliefs that morality is based on innate virtues, to Nietzsche's rejection on traditional morality and the idea of object moral values. Ultimately, morality remains a fascinating and ever relevant topic that touches on everything from personal relationship to political systems, and that shapes the way we live our lives. Thank you for joining us on this journey of morality through philosophical perspectives. It's always fascinated me by like you ever get that gut feeling that something's not right, or that something is off. Like, what if that's just your soul telling you, hey, look out for this? Or what if like there is something out there, some greater knowledge or divine good or wrong that does give us power to choose? Or what if we're just born with the innate ability to choose right or wrong just to survive? Anyway, these are always some things I think about. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. You'll have a good day, evening, or night, depending on when you tune in. Take care.